So you have an idea for either an app, tech startup, or simply a tech product. Currently, zero funding, either personal or family friends, doesn't matter. You really don't have anything to start with anyway. But you believe that this is the next best thing, or it will be the biggest thing after sliced bread. Unfortunately, you're now thinking that you need either funding, development team, dev shop. Stop. You are thinking about this all wrong. I know this because I've spent years basically doing what you're doing, trying, failing, and trying again. I wasted resources, energy, money, building a bunch of things I thought would succeed, I thought people wanted, when in reality nobody ever wanted. And like I said in the last video, building without clarity. I've done everything wrong, so now you don't have to. But after years of trial and error, I finally have an understanding of the process. I'm building an AI startup that is poised to do well over $2 million at the end of 2026. And we have an AI app launching on February 9th, 2026. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you 7 steps to take you from where you are now with your idea to a working app startup. And more importantly, I'm going to be showing you the things that you should actually avoid doing. Let's get it. So slight disclaimer before we actually jump into the whole 7 steps. This video is not for everybody. It's for people who have great ideas but have no funding. So if you have money, there's a whole different video that is going to come out for you. 2, for people who are not technical. Well, it can help if you're technical, to be honest, but more so for people who are not technical. And thirdly, it's for people who actually want to build something that is real, not just constantly talking about doing it, but actually doing it. Now, if you fit into all those 3 categories, this is for you. If you don't, I'm going to make different videos addressing how you can actually build easier if you're in one of those 3 classes. Well, if you're in the 3rd class, this channel is not for you. But let's get into it. Step 1, write your ideas down physically. See, this has nothing to do with AI, code, no code, all of that. Simply put, you need to get a piece of paper and a pen and write your idea down. Not on a note app on your phone or whatever software or app you use to take down notes, but an actual pen and paper. Here's why. Ideas in your head are just that. They are ideas. Rough ideas, mumbled up with different things from different places, and generally not clear. But writing it down bridges the first gap that most people face: clarity. Now, I've done a whole concept of that, and it's in my previous video. So I need you to write down these 5 questions and answer them. Number 1, what is the idea? Number 2, who is the idea for? Number 3, what problem does it actually solve? And number 4, why should it actually exist? The thing is, most people just skip this step and jump straight into building, how to build it. But the problem is that in itself is backwards, because if you cannot explain on paper how you're going to do what you are going to do, then you're actually not ready to do what you plan to do. Now, here are some things you actually need to avoid while you're writing it down. Don't romanticize the idea. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to make it perfect. Just write it down. The goal of this whole phase is for you to get clarity and not for you to now get it more complex than what you actually understand. Step 2. Research your idea deeply. There's a good news in this. 1, you're allowed to use AI. ChatGPT, Claude, whichever you use, you're fine. But here's what I want you to understand. This is a crucial step a lot of people miss. Why? Because they do lazy research. Heck, not even research at all. I need to understand. Research is not asking ChatGPT, is this a good idea? Has anyone done this before? That's not research. That's just being lazy. All those basically would give you surface level answers, because in reality, they are surface level questions. What you need to understand in this step is, who is your ideal user? What is your potential market size? What exactly are the pain points of your user? how many people are solving this problem that you plan to tackle, and the actual truth of what is the value that you are building. So you can use AI tools like Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc. But you can only use it if you prompt it correctly. So for example, here is a bad prompt. Is this a good idea? Horrible prompt, surface level answers to a surface level question. Well, here is a much better prompt. Act as a startup analyst. Break down this idea, identify my target user, what is this user's pain point with this problem, who are my existing competitors, how is this already solved in this day and age, or how does this user solve this issue, and finally, what is the actual value in this. Now, ChatGPT or Claude is going to give you a long answer answering all these parts and all these segments. Now, it's now left to you to individually read through every answer and delve deeper into each section that is answered until you have a full grasp of the concept. So the goal of this step in itself is simply understanding. You need to understand actually what you're building, where it's going. Are you building for the short term, long term? You need to understand that. Some things you need to actually avoid here. First, don't fall in love with your idea, because at this point it's still an idea. A lot of things are going to change as you build. Trust me. Do not fear competitors, because, well, competition isn't a sign to run away. It's actually somehow validation in your idea. Remember, the goal of this is understanding. Step 3, use AI to visualize your idea. Now that you understand your idea, it's time for you to see it, because visualization changes everything. At where you are now, you have no skills in UI, UX, physical product, or web design, whatever. That is fine. But the beautiful thing is we have tools like Lovable, Replit, and different no-code AI platforms that allow you to visualize your app, website, or software idea in real time. Yes, these apps can actually help you build out whatever you're trying to build out, but that is not the goal yet. The goal at this point is not to build. No, it is simply to make your idea real enough to react to. When you see your idea, you would notice what's unnecessary, notice what's missing, and then you will generally just be able to refine the user experience. Now, what not to do here? Do not over-refine the product. Do not try and make sure that every button on every edge is working. Remember, you're not trying to build Apple yet. You're just trying to visualize it. Step 4, avoid paid partners and dev shops. You see this particular step, it will save you thousands of dollars and months of regrets. Do not immediately rush to pay dev shops, hire freelancers, and simply just outsource everything. Especially at this stage, you do not even know if your idea is valid enough to actually work. So what you actually need now are co-founders, not paid partners. People who actually believe in what you want to build, have some version of skin in the game with you, and own it with you. Your paid partners get paid whether the business succeeds, whether it fails. Co-founders, on the other hand, they have skin in the game, so they care if it lives or it dies. Now, principally what you should avoid at this stage is burning money without validation and outsourcing every single thing just because you do not know how to do it yet. This part of the process is where most people fail before they've even begun. Don't do that. Step 5, create a marketable demo. This step is very critical and most people miss it. Now, before you're confused, a demo is not the same thing as visualization. The difference is now you've built something, or well, you're about to build something that can actually be seen, felt, and experienced by other people. But here's the key. It does not need to have a fully functional backend. You can use tools like Lovable, Replit, and other non-code platforms, or simply non-code MVP builders. The goal of this is a working front end that is communicative and creates a believable experience. What you succeeded in building here is not the final product in itself, obviously, but you have built proof. What you need to avoid here: 1, don't over-engineer. I cannot stress that enough. Do not wait for perfection. Don't wait for when it's ready. Because at this point, readiness is a myth. Step 6, create a waitlist or a marketing test. Now, this is the phase where your idea would meet with reality. The goal is to use the demo you have created to test and answer one thing. Do people actually want this? Now, by people, I do not mean family, friends, or people who just want to be nice because they care about your feelings. What you need here is honest feedback, bone-chilling honesty. Now, there are several ways you can go about this, several ways you can get answers to this question: do people actually want this? Depending on what your budget looks like. Going from most expensive to least expensive: 1, you can run ads. Actually, that's the only paid thing that you have to do here. You can run simple, cheaper ads that has quite a moderate amount of reach to see how people react. Now, remember, these ads are not marketing ads. They are data collection ads. You run the ads to receive data that you then analyze to know what to do. You can build a social media page. You can DM people who are in your niche, who you think would be ideal users. You can post in relevant communities, or you can just simply reach out to people directly that you see in maybe a mall, or you go to actual places that have a large audience of your target user. So to make this simple, you can have them sign up via a Google form, a waitlist page, or an email capture. Think about it this way. If a stranger who you know not from anywhere, from Jack, is willing to give you their name, their email, and their honest feedback, you're definitely onto something. If not, you've just saved yourself months of effort wasted. Now, make sure you avoid this because you are the penultimate step. 1, do not fake validation. Do not rely on comments, and do not shy away from negative feedback. Remember, feedback is data, and data is direction. Step number 7, build for real. You see, now and only now do you actually build. At this point, you have a clear understanding of the problem. You have validated your idea. You have a wait list of potential users, and you know what matters most. If you're technical, you can just build this out for yourself. I'm going to make a different video to properly address, how to build as a technical founder. But if you're non-technical, like the most of us are, 1, you could find a technical partner. Emphasis on partner or co-founder over a paid employee that you would call your partner. Or 2, you can spend the days or a few hours, depending on the commitment to time and all you put into it. Use that time to learn no-code platforms like Lovable. I personally like Lovable. You can spend that time learning it, and depending on the depth of technological need of your product, you can build it out with these platforms. Once you've done that, you onboard a couple of test users, get their feedback, fix any bugs that they will have, and then make it open to the public. They already have a wait list. You reach out to those people from the wait list, and congratulations, you have an AI startup. Well, obviously, there are parts that have to come with legalization and registration and all of that. I will touch all that in a separate video. But now, congratulations, you now have an app startup. Now, quick disclaimer. This whole video is for people who want to build app startups or tech startups or just generally build apps, and they have no money, no idea on the technicalities of how to do it, no tech experience, nothing. This is not an exhaustive playbook because it would not go around everybody's situations. Different people have different individual situations. It is generalized in itself, but this framework works. I know this because I've spent years, like I said, learning this and finally coming out of that circle so that you wouldn't have to. But that being said, if you have specific questions, unique scenarios that you would like answered personally, you can drop in the comments. I read them, don't worry. I would see your question and I will reply in due time. And if this video actually helped you, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and share with someone who actually needs to get their idea off the ground. Well, until next time.